World War Whiskey, The Fighting Irish, Part 2. So last year we reviewed 4 Irish whiskeys in about the $20 to $25 range. And the Jameson and Proper 12 beat out the Red Bush Red and the Kavanaugh for that kind of budget Irish whiskey. Now, nothing wrong with Jameson. It's kind of a run-of-the-mill, just standard, very smooth whiskey, all-purpose, can't really go wrong. But if you want to kind of elevate this year for St. Patrick's Day and get something a little more special, we're going to look at some $30 to $40 bottles, and we think you'll be more than happy with the elevation in the price for what you get in the whiskey. Now, thanks to Ryan Rossmiller for suggesting this out there in St. Louis, Missouri, or near St. Louis. Gave me this idea saying, hey, let's get some Irish whiskeys reviewed here for St. Patrick's Day coming up. And I want to thank Mitch Peace, who brought me this West Cork that we're going to review tonight, all the way from Ireland. And congrats on your wedding that will be next month. Looking forward to that, moving out to the States. So bring me some more Irish whiskey when you come out here and get married. But we'll talk about the West Cork and why it's so special in a second. But let's start off with what we're going to review tonight. Our lowest ABV is the Connemara. It's a peated Irish whiskey. You may have seen it before. We did review it once with an American peated whiskey, and but today we're going to review it alongside these other Irish whiskeys. So the Connemara is, as I said, it's kind of a smoky, peaty Irish whiskey, which you don't see. You usually think of that with Scotch, but this one is very well known. It's only 40% ABV, but this got a 94-point score at the Beverage Tasting Institute. Next up, we'll look at the Knot here. I don't know, you may or may not have heard of the Knot, but it's a 50% alcohol here, and Irish whiskey, we should say. And I take that back. It is a product of Ireland, but for some reason, I heard it's not actually an Irish whiskey, probably for the production method. They say on here, bottled by the Knot Irish Spirits Company, but nowhere on here does it actually say it's an Irish whiskey. So someone was telling me it's a whiskey that's made in Ireland, but it's not technically an Irish whiskey. But it's 50% and it's $30, so it matched our range here tonight for what we're testing. And this also got a 95-point review from the Wine Enthusiast. Now, we'll come back to the West Cork. The Teeling whiskey here is 46%, and this was a double gold winner at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. As I said, it's 46%, but this is one that was aged in ex-bourbon barrels and then placed in rum casks. So hopefully it has a nice kind of sweet finish to it. And I believe the Knot, was the Knot here in ex-bourbon barrels? No, I believe it's a West Cork that is also aged in bourbon barrels to give it some flavor. But the West Cork here is I'm sorry, I said 64%. It's a 62%er. And this is the heaviest hitter, and this one should definitely impress if you like heavy. And this one actually also is in bourbon barrels, as I'm seeing here. So let's get into it, review which one of these we like from the least to the highest ABV. And I guess, again, it's hard to sometimes compare when there's such a different volume of whiskey. So we definitely have some water here tonight. Let's get a fresh palate. And we're going to put a little more water to the heavier ones and try to drink them how we would normally drink them. Now, some people say I just drink it straight, but I do recommend a little bit of water, especially if it's over 40%. One, it opens it up, but two, it helps you not just get that alcohol burn. So adding a little more isn't a bad thing. It'll actually make it taste better. Most of you guys know that. So let's try the Connemara here first. Irish peated whiskey. Let's get into it. All right. We'll try to go through these fast and tell you which $30 to $40 one you should get. All right. A little bit of that Irish whiskey sweeter smell, but not a real sweet flavor. A little bit of peat, a little bit of iodine, a lot of wood and nut going on. Fantastic flavor though. If you like the proper 12, you'll love the Connemara because it has all that flavor of the proper 12 that kind of elevates it from those other $20 ones, but without kind of the bitter, unrefined kind of taste that proper 12 has. So this one is really, really good. So let's rinse. And now let's go to this Teeling Small Batch here. And as I said, this is a 46%er. And I'm just going to add 2 drops of water in this one. Wow. So definitely you taste more of the alcohol there, even though it's only 6% higher than the Connemara. You definitely get a lot more flavor going on there. A little bit of toffee, caramel. Not quite as sweet as I thought it would be being in the rum barrels, but you can definitely taste there's something else sweet there going on because of the rum barrel. So I could see how this one won a World Spirits competition because it's definitely different. Definitely has a very unique kind of flavor to it for an Irish whiskey. So let's look at the knot. So this is a 50%er. So add a little splash. I'm gonna do three little splashes of water in this one. Wow, this one, man, what is that? That's a fantastic aroma in this knot. Just really floral, kind of caramely, buttery aroma. It smells great. Let's see how it tastes. Wow, this is like liquid candy. Whoa. I mean, I can see why it's probably not an Irish whiskey because it doesn't taste like any Irish whiskey or any whiskey I've ever tasted. It almost tastes like a flavored whiskey. It tastes like butter, hazelnuts, honey. Yeah, butterscotch, sugar. It almost tastes a little artificial. That's the only problem. Like it was artificially flavored. Not bad, and it might not be. They definitely, it says on the back here, a fruit fiasco. Yeah, it definitely tastes fruity because of sweetness. I gotta take one more sip because this is the first sip blew me away. Like, this is amazing. The second sip, I got a little bit of almost like that, what's that peanut butter whiskey? You know, the one that just tastes like it's overdone with peanut butter and sugar. You know what I'm talking about. Can't think of the name, but I have it around here somewhere. If you like the peanut butter stuff, I apologize. I don't mind it if I mix it, but drinking it straight, it's way too sweet. So let's see what this third sip does. You know, the knot here is very unique, very good. I just don't know if I can drink more than a glass of it straight. As far as a mixer, hands down, that's gonna blow you away, man. It's gonna make everything taste good because it's sweet and not too sweet, and it's 50%, so that makes a great mixed drink. Straight. You might like it straight. I could probably tolerate one glass. After that, I'm going to go to one of these three, and let's check out the West Cork. Because right now, we got to decide between who is top Irish dog. Now, this West Cork being a 64%er, I'm going to add quite a bit of water. Not quite a bit, but just a splash there. The West Cork is almost scentless, which is surprising for its cask strength here. It is not tasteless though. Definitely pick up some of that dried fruit. I almost need to do another rinse because that knot has so much sweetness to it. It's weird because it has no smell, just a faint whiskey smell. But the flavor is just very complex and strong. A little bit of maybe orange peel, dried fruit, a little bit of that maybe bourbon cask finish that I'm picking up, which makes it fantastic. Not as bad. I mean, adding the water really helps this one out. So if you get it, drink it with a little bit of water, because when we tried it straight, it was like eye puckering, you know, just blow your brains out type of kick. But with water, it's amazingly good. So, wow. I thought this one, when I first sip, I thought the knot was going to take it. But I think it's a little too sweet for a straight drinking type of whiskey. This one's only $30 though. I think it's worth picking up for $30 and use it as a mixer. It's fantastic. Between these three, it's really close. You know, the Connemara, it has that salty iodine. It's probably the safest bet for you if you have people that aren't too much into whiskey. I think everyone will, well, I don't want to say everyone will like it, but if you drink Irish whiskey, you'll love this one. The West Cork, it's really, really good. It's a lot better than 62% alcohol should be. I mean, it really tastes good. But I think this Teeling just nods it out because it has a complexity to it with that rum finish that kind of puts it in between the West Cork and the knot for me. Like this one's a little too sweet. This one has a lot of flavor, but this one there's no sweetness in this one. But this one has a little bit of that enjoyable sweetness that you will kind of savor and makes it stand out. So either of these two, if you can find them, pick them up. Even these two are really good. So this is a hard one because everyone, you know, when you get in these $30, $40 bottles, a lot of times they're all really good. And that's what we see here tonight, that I drink all of these for different reasons. So, you know, for the more standard guys, go with the Connemara. If you're mixing it, go with the knot. If you just want to impress people with a lot of ABV and something that actually does taste good with a lot of ABV, West Cork is it. If you just want to enjoy something that you probably haven't had before, this small batch Teeling, it's phenomenal. So I'm picking that as our winner tonight. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all you guys. Pick one of these up. Let me know what you think about them. Maybe pick two of them up and see if you agree with me. So love your thoughts and comments. We'll see you guys soon.